Hey guys, what's going on? B McG here, and today we're doing a video on Captain Britain. I recently got her from one Black ISO Market crystal. I opened one of those because I had extra units. I was like, why not open it, see what I get? And I didn't record the opening because it's just one Cavalier crystal. The luck is normally like pretty bad, but I opened it, and when you look like at your profile tab, like right here, when you get a character you don't have, like a +1 will show up, like it's now in the bottom right corner. So that popped up. I'm like, oh, someone I don't have. That's pretty cool. And I'm like, I guess I'm getting like a 3-star Captain Britain. And I see the 6-star coming around. I'm like, no, that's not mine. It's just gonna roll over, and it stopped. And I'm like, holy crap. So I had 6-star Captain Britain. So I went to the CCP beta, which is where you see all the footage today. I do have her at rank 3 on my live account because that's how much I like her. But yeah, I played around with her on the beta, and I had so much fun using her that I had to take her to rank 3 on my live account, even with the Karina's challenges going on. Like, I could have waited till I got a T5CC so I could rank 3 Falcon. Oh, I do have a T5CC, so I could have ranked Falcon, but well, need for like my Karina's challenges run. But I decided to go with the fun route and rank her. So we're gonna break down her abilities real quick. I have some gameplay to show you guys. She's really cool. We're gonna set it to rank 3, 6-0, because that's what we got. One thing I think that's pretty cool is that her bulwark still increases with rank. But yeah, obviously mine's not awakened, as you guys saw, which I really wish I had, because if you look, her block proficiency is 59%. Yet whenever she purifies, or whenever a debuff is purified, gain a bulwark passive, increasing block proficiency by a decent bit. So I really wish I had her awakened, because even at Sig 20, that's a really solid increase to block proficiency, because this stacks 6 times. So that's a pretty sizable increase to block proficiency. It makes her super tanky. But yeah, her prestige at Sig 200, it's pretty decent. I'm not going to use her as a prestige champ. I think rank 3 is fine for now. I don't have to worry about taking her to rank 4. But let's go through some of her abilities so you guys can understand how she works. Her base crit rate is 0 on basic attacks, heavy attacks, all that stuff, and then specials have a plus 8,600 crit rating. So it's not guaranteed crits, but you have a really solid chance to crit on your specials. And base crit rate is 0. That doesn't mean you're never going to crit. Your crit masteries can still enhance your chances to crit on basic attacks, so it's not like you're never going to crit. So don't use her as like a no crit counter for like Sinister or Kitty. But when Captain Britain is struck by a critical hit, or if it hits her block, 80% chance to inflict exhaustion, reducing crit damage by about 500 for 10 seconds, max stack of 4. This includes exhaustion inflicted through psionic mode. And you might be wondering, what is psionic mode? We'll get there in a second. Each prowess on Captain Britain, her defensive ability actually is increased by 10%. I could not find a solid place to show that in this video. But stuff like Disorient, champs like Black Widow, Black Widow, the OG Black Widow, you get your prowess up enough and her ability actually reduction won't really affect you, which I think is pretty cool. But there's still some nodes that you can make this work on. I just couldn't find any in the time I spent recording this. But like stuff like defective defense, you can make her work. Basic attacks deal energy damage instead of physical. And to add to that, she also has psychic shielding, the tag right here, which I think is really cool. It has some benefits. So yeah. Psionic mode, you don't start the fight in psionic mode. It happens after you throw a special attack, and then you pretty much alternate every other. But she activates it when she activates a special attack. If it's already on, she deactivates it instead. And psionic mode grants extra physical resistance. This makes her super tanky, actually. So you pair that physical resistance with her bulwark, which I don't have, and you won't see in this video. She becomes super tanky, which I think is just awesome. And basically in all the footage I'm going to show you, my character's unawakened, so all the chip damage I'm taking when I'm not getting struck in the face with a wombo combo, like all the chip damage on the block, just imagine that being mitigated by like a crap ton. That's pretty much how our sig ability is. In Psionic mode, she deals a burst of 1500 energy damage on each hit, scaling with base attack only, so it doesn't scale up with the fury she gets. On her first light attack, she inflicts an exhaustion. On her second medium, inflicts a non-stacking slow. And on the first hit of her heavy attack, inflict a non-stacking weakness. You could also run Resonate to get the benefits from this weakness, because the whole point to her kit is that you want to apply these debuffs, then launch a special attack to purify them, and that's how you get buffs. So whenever Psionic mode is activated or deactivated, she will purify all exhaustion, slow, and weakness debuffs on the opponent, and exhaustion will give her cruelty. Exhaustion reduces crit rating, cruelty increases crit damage. So if you guys couldn't catch on, that's kind of the design intent here. Like Purified Slow will make you unstoppable, Purified Weakness will grant you Fury. So it's kind of how the two buffs interact with each other, or the buff and debuff interact with each other. That's kind of what you want to do here. That was the design intent too, is to teach players interactions between like cruelty and exhaustions and how certain things work, which I think is really cool, because I find it funny because the design intent for the character is to teach newer players how some interactions work, but with the way that she benefits from purification, anytime a debuff is purified, it doesn't matter what, she'll gain prowess, and that ramps her up, and that ramps her up super fast. So it actually makes her a super valuable character for certain nodes, and it actually powers her up. Like, I'm not saying she's better than Apocalypse, but like Apocalypse can counter purification. He reduces purifiability accuracy, so they won't be purifying. She doesn't reduce their ability accuracy for purification. She wants them to purify, and she will benefit from it, which I think is really cool. And it's kind of why the reason I like Overseer so much. He not only counters buff control, he's immune to it, but he also gets ramped up from it. I love when characters get ramped up from countering the ability that you take them against, which in her case is purification. All special attacks will pause her buffs for about 5 seconds. Special 1, you gain a 30% energize for 15 seconds. This is huge. I love energize. I love ways to gain power faster and spam specials quickly. I think it's pretty sweet. Special 2 is the damage special. Increase attack rating by about 300 per unique buff currently on her. And then on activation for Special 3, exit Psionic mode, gain one of each buff, and inflict one of each debuff. This special attack will always default to Psionic mode off when entering or exiting. So basically after your Special 3, you just want to ramp right up to your Special 1, and it's a decent way to ramp up quickly for longer fights. So you guys will see how her kit works when I get to the gameplay. But yeah, let's talk about some synergies that she has in her base kit, because she doesn't have many. I could talk about this one, but I can't showcase it because embargo. Captain Britain, when landing a critical hit on the last hit of the Special 1, grants an unblockable buff during the next special attack. This is cool, but you can just make her a horseman, and every time you throw a special, if you have one of the debuffs listed here, you'll be unblockable when you purify them, so pretty cool. Good to be lucky. Synergy Champs, striking the opponent with a critical hit has a 21% chance to grant a non-stacking precision buff, increasing crit rating by 14% for 7 seconds. It's pretty cool. It's useful for her to increase her crit rate so she does more damage on her basic attacks, which I think is pretty solid. Psylocke, surprisingly, is actually a centerpiece for one of the synergy teams I like running with Captain Britain. But striking an opponent with a critical hit inflicts a non-stacking degen, dealing 50% of attack rating as direct damage over 6 seconds, which I think is solid. Night Thrasher synergy. Captain Britain will extend the duration of Psionic mode debuffs by 20%. So her debuffs last 10 seconds, I believe. So 20% increase, that makes them 12 seconds. It's nice. Night Thrasher will increase the potency of all damage over time effects by 10%. This is decent. I mean, it's nothing like game changing for Night Thrasher. I mean, the difference in this is normally like I tried to find the impact of it, and it's super hard to when crit damage and like critical hits are super variable, so it's like super hard to see the increase. But I mean, it's 10% extra damage, so it's pretty solid. This synergy is really good. It does not stack with duplicate synergies, I guess. Basically saying if you have multiple Captain Britons, you can't stack it. But all non-villain champs gain it 10% attack rating, 5% physical resistance, and 5% energy resistance versus villains. So I think this is super huge, the attack rating increase, because if you bring White Magneto along, heroes are already getting boosted. So when you fight a villain champ, you're getting a solid boost with both her and White Magneto on the team. So a huge reason why I like her so much is like the potential for team building. So I will get right into that. I'm going to show you guys some gameplay starting in Realm of Legends. Then we're going to go through X7 a little bit, find some nodes that she works really well on. But yeah, we're going to start with a solo showcase. She's not going to have any synergies, just her against Winter Soldier. And to give you a rough idea of just what her damage is like on her own. So let's get right into it. So starting the video off, we're going against Bucky Barnes, the punching bag of MCOC. As you guys can see, I am running Resonate. I'm running it for the whole video. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's insanely important, but like it really helps her ramp damage. She could ramp her Furies pretty much twice as fast when you run Resonate, as long as you throw these special while you have a weakness up from Resonate. You could also purify 2 weaknesses at once when you're in psionic mode, because you can get one from the heavy attack as well as get one from just the random chance of getting it from Resonate. So yeah, she's pretty solid. So we're gonna start by ramping up to our special 3 here. Not much to say about the ramp, because I don't really care about keeping the debuffs up right now. I just want to make sure I launch the special with them active. So right now my exhaustion's still up. So we're going to parry the special 2, and then do medium, light, medium, and then heavy, cancel with the special 3. I really like canceling our heavy attack with her specials, especially if I'm not running Resonate, because that's the best way to make sure you get the Fury buff. I love the special 3 animation so much. But now we want to make sure we rush to our special 3. This is where having Night Thrasher would be super handy, because these debuffs, as you can see, they're super close to falling off. It's almost too stressful to use that rotation outside of Realm. But now we're pretty much fully ramped. We have 4 Fury buffs, 3 Cruelty, and we can still get our prowess up a bit, but as long as you have the buffs up, you're pretty much good to go. Her prowess, max stack of 25, and then if she's a horseman, it's going to say 26, because you get 1 from being a horseman. But yeah, built to the special 2 right now. We're only going to be able to launch it with 4 Fury and 3 Cruelty, and it's a pretty beefy special 2. And then we're just going to lose a bunch of our buffs, and her special 1's really good for ramping her buffs up, because you could do it pretty quickly with the Energize that you get from it. And that was a 24,000 special 1 with 13 prowess, which is about halfway to her max ramp and not a lot of buffs. Right there was 34. That's pretty much showing how important it is to have those buffs on her when you're throwing specials. But right there, apparently I can't dex the special 1. I intercept with the light attack, and we finish him in about 2 minutes 30 seconds, 120 hits, so it's pretty average. Next up, we're running her with, I think, my favorite team. I believe this is Night Thrasher, Mr. Fantastic. I believe we have Psylocke, and then we also have Longshot. You can sub Longshot for Domino if you want. I don't like Domino, so I'm not going to bring her with me. But this is probably my favorite team to run with Captain Britain, because it makes spamming specials so much easier. So we're pretty much going to do the same thing we did in the last fight. We're going to go to the special 3. You start the fight by launching the special 1, get that Energize. That way you're also in psionic mode when you launch the special 3. And you'll purify all the debuffs when you launch the special 3. So right here, I just got to get in, get a heavy attack. But as you can see, these are falling off, the debuffs. So I waited out a little bit longer. Did a 5-hit combo trying to get a weakness from Resonate, but we got one there, and then we did the heavy. So now we have 2 of those to purify, so that's 2 Fury buffs. Again, I love this animation, it's so cool. So now, as you can see, the Mr. Fantastic synergy with Psylocke gave us more power back, which I think is amazing. It makes spamming specials so much easier, and her main source of damage is specials, so I think this is why I really like that team. Honestly, just Captain Britain, Mr. Fantastic, and Psylocke is a really solid team. I don't use Psylocke much, but yeah, this is a really solid team. So medium, light, medium, and then medium, heavy into special 2. As you can see, we still have a lot of power left because we launched 3 unique specials. I'm just going to throw a special 1 at him. You can use the Unstoppable as a counterpunch charge, which I think is really cool. I call it counterpunch charge because it's kind of like how you use it to intercept with like Killmonger on Ebb and Flow Intercept. You block the hit, take the Unstoppable, then intercept. You could do the same kind of tactic here. But now we're running her with her absolute best team. She's the Norseman Horseman. I should have thrown all buffs on from Odin in hindsight because she gains extra attack rating on her special 2 from each buff. And I only put the aptitude on. At the end of the day, not a huge deal. But as you can see, when we throw our specials, we're unblockable, which I think is solid utility. It comes from being a horseman and basically taking away your ramped APOC. But I think she's solid. And I don't know, I have more fun using her than APOC, honestly. So I'm fine with that trade-off. But yeah, now we're just going to keep spamming special 1s to ramp up our buffs. We're already at 4 Fury buffs thanks to Resonate. So now we're just going to keep ramping. And we're at 11 Prowess right now. The special 2 that you guys are going to see is pretty sweet. I think I'm ramping to it next. Yeah, I'm going to throw the special 1 here to activate Psionic mode, so when I launch the special 2, I purify a bunch of buffs and get more prowess. She needs a little bit of practice. Like when you use her, you gotta like practice a bit to fully utilize her. I love canceling her heavy attack into specials, but as you can see there, that was a really beefy special attack. And then you can see me struggle to parry while unstoppable. And that was a really beefy special 1. So that synergy team is pretty OP because White Mags gives APOC a synergy that makes Horsemen have plus 30% potency on their prowess, which affects all of Captain Britain's prowess, which is just insane. So I think she's worthy of being a Horseman with that team because she really relies on prowess for her special attack damage. But here we're going against an Ebb and Flow Intercept node along with, I think Foresight is on this as well. Ignore that hit I just took there. The main thing I wanted to show you guys here was just how you can use her Unstoppable buff that she gets to counter stuff like Ebb and Flow for intercept and stuff. Any kind of node where you need to intercept, it's pretty useful for. So here I'm going to throw the special 1, I'm going to hold block, he's going to run at me, I counter with my medium attack, and I get the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Foresight down. So yeah, it's a really cool way to utilize the Unstoppable. I'm honestly not thinking of her as a slow champ, but more of an unstoppable champ, if that makes any sense. Like, she'd be great for Can't Stop, Won't Stop. There we go, some massive special. Obviously enhanced by the nodes, but it's still a really strong special. But like, I made the mistake of thinking of her as like, oh, her slow is going to be her perfect utility, and you're going to use it to counter all kinds of unstoppable champs, and like, you can, but it's just like, I don't know, she's not my number 1 option for it. I think of her more as just like a character you're going to use to like brute force things. Her damage isn't like broken OP, but like, she's got insane block proficiency when she's fully ramped with her 6 bulwark when you have her awakened. And like, if there's ever like any periodic like nodes where like they go unstoppable for X amount of seconds, you just sit there and block and take like no damage while waiting for it to come down. Just using that for example. But now we are on Mighty Charge, and then this node also allows us to place Incinerates on the opponent when we strike them, but they will purify when they dash at us, obviously, because Mighty Charge purifies all debuffs, and we do reduce damage unless they have an Incinerate on them. But the awesome thing about her here is that she will ramp from these incinerates that I place on Cyclops when they're purified, because they're debuffs being purified. So she's a great counter to characters who purify, and I'm excited to use her in Battlegrounds because her damage will ramp up fast against pain point characters like Kingpin. Right there, using the Unstoppable as a counter punch again, and then right here we're just gonna get a big fat special 2. Her damage is just really awesome. Definitely hurts when you don't crit, but throughout this video I think I had pretty good luck, and a lot of these were first takes, so it's not like I went back and recorded just to get good crit RNG to make her look better. I don't like doing that. Right here, I really like her light reach, but for some reason the opponents don't like dashing at her when you try to do intercepts. I think it's probably better if I do it when they're in the corner, but it's whatever. A really cool thing, you could also use Mighty Charge to your advantage and ramp up your buffs faster. So here I'm going to back up, he's going to dash at me, I'm going to place my buffs or debuffs up again, and yeah, it's such a speedy way to ramp because you don't have to leave Psionic mode. You could just put your debuffs up, let them charge at you, and yeah, we're at 20 prowess, 4 fury buffs, 4 cruelty. Like, she's really good for Mighty Charge. And when she's awakened, the block damage will be mitigated by a ton, because every single time they purify, which would be on a dash, you gain a passive bulwark, which is going to increase your block proficiency by a ton. There we are using the Unstoppable as a counterpunch again, because I think that's awesome utility. It's a great way to create openings, because you mitigate the block damage by blocking the first hit, and then you dash at them, intercepting them basically. So she's really fun to play, and I like that Unstoppable is like a huge part of her kit. So we're going for one more fight on this path. You guys are gonna see that like she doesn't have many ways to control a fight. She just has ways to like counter, purify, and she just does a lot of damage. So obviously you can play around Thor's power gain. I just didn't play around it well. I could have done heavy attacks to get to a special quicker, but I was just hoping he would bait or let me bait his specials. But it's really not that big of a deal. He's gonna be very stingy here for a second. It's actually kind of funny how stingy he is. But yeah, now we're gonna get some buffs on him, or debuffs on him, so he can dash at us. But of course he isn't. Yeah, but now we launch the special 2 while he's power gaining. And like, that's a really massive special 2 if you ask me. She doesn't lose her prowess, so like she never really loses her ramp other than her buffs, and you can easily get those back up just by spamming special 1s. Like, guys, I'm a huge fan of her. I really like I really like her design. Really fun to use. I don't think she's gonna be super useful in stuff like war, but I mean, I might test her in the off season or whatever on path 2 section 2 path 5. Sorry guys. But yeah, now we are in, I can't remember what quest this is. I think it's 7.2.4. It's one of these superiority lanes. This is really an insane fight, an insane lane. There's tenacity 3, so 75% chance to purify. There's stun vulnerability, the superiority nodes. Basically, every time they purify a debuff, when you have superiority, they will be stunned passively for after every 6 debuffs, I think. Yeah. So you gain superiority by having class disadvantage. So basically the way you want to play this fight is just get them passively stunned. This first fight, you guys can tell I'm learning my way through it. But the next one, you guys can see it's pretty nuts. So yeah, we're going to bait the special from Vision. We're pretty much lined up perfectly for a massive special 2. That was 100,000 on that one hit of her special 2. Obviously stun vulnerability is increasing our damage, but this next one is a lot smoother because I know how to play the node now. As you guys can tell, I mean, I showed you guys the first fight of each lane and then a couple after, just to show you guys, you know, it's a realistic take on the fights or whatever. Like, I don't want to have perfect gameplay showcases because not everyone's perfect. I get that, especially, or like, I totally get that with like all people. You guys have seen my streams if you're not new to my channel. Kind of sucks sometimes. But yeah, she's great for tenacity because do 5-hit combos. You don't have to rely on getting a parry in. You can just use the Unstoppable as a counter punch. Like, she's amazing for what's it called? I forgot what the node is called already, even though I just said it. Tenacity, I think, is what it's called. Right there, I'm kind of bummed that special didn't crit because that would have finished her, but it's whatever. And her basic attacks are fine when she's in psionic mode. You don't really feel the decreased crit rating all too much. This next one's really cool too. I really like how she uses a sword and a shield when she's fighting. I think that's so cool. Right here, eat a little wombo combo because I suck. But now we activate psionic mode, we get the energize, erase up to our special 2. I really like how she gains that mask on her face when she is in psionic mode. I think it looks like a butterfly, but also looks like an X. So we lined that up perfectly because I was actually counting this time. And another really beefy special. So I want to get back to my special 1 so I could re-enter psionic mode and pause my buffs. Eat another wombo combo because I suck. And this special should finish him out. So yeah, she's definitely super fun. I really enjoy using her. I think I got one more fight for you guys here. Let's see. Yeah, one more fight. It's a Act 7 boss. I think it's 7.3.3. This Spider-Man has, I think, tenacity, foresight, no-hit mercy, evasive manures, and true focus. So pretty much we just want to get to psionic mode, apply our debuffs, let them get purified, and yeah, watch the damage ramp up. Sorry about my phone going off. Forgot to put that on silent. Just ignore that. Right there I get a sick little intercept because I'm kind of decent at the game sometimes. I do take a combo. Right there we do 2 light attacks to get those evade charges out of the way. Because I know he's guaranteed to evade from one of them at least, from the node. Right there, I don't know why I did like a full 3-hit combo, medium, light, medium, into the air. But yeah, right there I try to do a light intercept and he just hits me with his light attack. It's whatever. But right here, get an intercept. I actually think I use it as a counter punch. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this fight. Pretty straightforward fight with Captain Brittany here. She gets ramped up pretty quickly when there's debuff purification, and obviously it's not just exclusive to nodes, it's champs have it too, so like Kingpin, Mole Man, she's great for them. But yeah, that's it for the fights. Definitely love this character, she's a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Captain Britain's a brand new character. She came out literally like a week ago. So not a lot of content on her, so I figured I'd hop on the bandwagon and get some content out. I normally don't make videos on brand new characters, but I got her on my live account and I actually like her and I actually ranked her up, so why not start up the rank up and gameplay videos back up with her. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, consider hitting like, consider subscribing. If you already subbed, you know I love you. See you guys for the next video or stream. Peace out.